And this is the other passage of last night. Jesus says, to obtain real fruits from the Eucharist, it must not be considered as an episode repeated at more or less distant points in time, but must be made the basic thought in life. To live thinking of me as Eucharist, who hasten to come or have come into you, making the encounter a continuous present which lasts as long as your lives. Not to separate oneself in spirit from me, to act in the ray issuing forth from the Eucharist, never to go outside its orbit, like planets revolving around the sun and living by its splendour. Here too, I propose Mary as a model for you. Her union with me must be the model for your union with me. The life of Mary, my mother, was entirely Eucharistic. The life of Maria, the little victim, must be entirely Eucharistic. If Eucharist means communion, Mary lived Eucharistically nearly all her life. For I was in my mother before being in the world as a man. Nor, when I was no longer a man in the world, did I cease to be in her. We have never separated since the moment when obedience was sanctified up to the height of God, and I became flesh in her womb, so pure that the angels are less pure in comparison, so holy that no ciborium receiving me has such holiness. Only in the breast of God is there a perfection of holiness greater than that of Mary. After the triune God, she is the Holy of Holies. If it were granted to you mortals to see the beauty of Mary as it is, you would remain enraptured and sanctified by it. There is no comparison in the universe that serves to tell you what my mother is. Be holy, and you will see her. And if to see God is the joy of the blessed, to see Mary is the joy of all paradise. For in her, not only do the angelical choirs and the hosts of saints take delight, but the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit contemplate her as the most beautiful work of their Trinity of love. The two of us have never separated. She aspired to me with all the strength of her virginal immaculate heart, awaiting the promised Messiah. The purest communion of desire, which attracted me from the depths of heaven. More lively communion from the time of the Blessed Annunciation until the hour of death on the cross. Our spirits were always united by love. Most intense communion of love and immense pain during my martyrdom and in the days of my burial. Eucharistic communion after the glorious resurrection and ascension until the Assumption, which was eternal union of the most pure mother with her divine Son. Mary was the perfect Eucharistic soul. She was able to entertain her God with ardent love, superangelic purity, and continuous worship. How could I separate from that heart that was living by me? I remained even after the consummation of the species. The words spoken to my mother in the 33 years in which I was her son on earth are nothing in comparison to the conversations which I, as Eucharist, had with her as Ciborium. But those words are too divine and too pure for the mind of man to be able to know and for man's lips to repeat. In the Temple of Jerusalem, only the priest went into the Holy of Holies, where the Ark of the Lord was. But in the Temple of the Heavenly Jerusalem, only I, God, go in, and know the secrets of the most holy Ark, that is Mary my mother. Strive to imitate Mary, and since it is something too arduous, ask Mary to help you. What is impossible for man is possible for God. Extremely possible, moreover, if asked for in Mary, with Mary, and through Mary.